Good morning to Bella and Bethany. I've just got your message here, right on cue there. So morning to you guys. Hope everything is well. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. What's happening here? Let's see. Technical malfunctions. No, we seem to be okay now. That's right. Okay. What happened to me? What happened to my live feed? Here we go. There we go. Fantastic. If I stand over here, apparently we've got a bit of a dead spot for the while. But that's all fine, that's all fine. People are starting to come online. Morning, Jeanette. And morning, Louise. Fantastic. Oh, Louise, I hope you did catch your Elton John. All right. Try resetting that. That'll do. Hopefully, let's see. There we go. Right. Problems with the microphone. Heck, what's going on now? Problems with the microphone. Well, we'll see how we get on anyway. Welcome to the Punctuation Show, folks. Mark's watching. Morning, Mark. Hope everything's well. Morning from Emily. Morning to Emily. Fantastic. Well, welcome to the Punctuation Show. I'm going to have set things off while I try and sort these microphone technical hitches. Anyway,
ladies and gentlemen, ensure your phones are switched off and take your seats for the Punctuation Show.
1, 2. I think it's sorted. Punctuation Show. There we go. Well, I think the microphone problems are all sorted out. Everyone will be pleased to know. Right, fantastic. Here we go. Lots of people jumping on now. That's wonderful to know. And, right, well, the Punctuation Show, here we are. And we are, today, once again, we're going to be looking at a bit of grammar. Okay, let's just look at a bit of grammar. And, as usual, welcome to Facebook Live. You can follow me on other social media at Punctuation Show, on Twitter at Punctuation Show, on Insta, Down with the Kids at Punctuation Show, and also on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you might already have seen today that we've got a new TikTok challenge for the subject that we're focusing on today. But before we look at subjects, today, the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing shout-outs! And we have our list of shout-outs right here. Let's see, right, shout-out. Well, the first thing I do need to tell you, some of you might have seen a survey, asking about when you would rather see the show. Did you want it earlier or did you want it later? Overwhelmingly, that feedback has come back to say to keep the Punctuation Show at this usual time of 10:15 on a Tuesday. We will be. We've also had news today that schools might not be going back this month in their entirety. But the Punctuation Show, we will be carrying on doing these shows to help you with your homeschooling. That's going to carry on as long as the schools are off, basically. Shout out to Miss Patman at Woodhouse Academy. Down in Milton Keynes there. The Barney School in Barnard Castle. Lots in the news about Barnard Castle recently. Shout out to the Barney School. Absolutely cracking school. Wonderful friend to the Punctuation Show. Thornley English Department. Thank you guys for your tweet there. Bagley Hall in Manchester sharing the show information, so thanks again for that, guys. Sky and Jack Cleverden. Oh, and John's just come online now, and Mum's just come online now. Emily in Bolton, morning, Emily. Aaron and Lewis from Broome School over in Ledgate, so morning to you guys. Hope you're watching again. Sky and Jack just saying good morning back. Thank you very much, guys. And again, their friend Rosie is still in bed. What are you going to do? We've got Toby from Goole. I know Jeanette's watching. There we go. It's Tilly. Hi from Toby and Goole. The Ghoulies. Always good to get the Ghoulies on board. Got a couple of Ghoulies this week as Mark's watching as well. Lucas and Lewis. Morning to Lucas and Lewis. Morning to Isla, Florence and Esther from Newton. Morning to Charlie in Cumbria, the regular there. Morning to Josh Murray from round the corner. Fantastic, Josh. What are you watching today? Isabella and Bethany Shibnall from Shropshire. There we go. And from Nathan as well. Caris, hopefully, will be coming online a bit later from Darlington. Ewan in Durham as well. Oliver in Horwich over in Manchester. Danielle, Evie and Lila over in Lancaster. Grace and Jackie Luton, the Loonies as well. Up from Isaac and Iona just said that. Oh, there we go. Up morning Emma from Isaac as well, from Manchester. There we go. Fantastic. Again, their school friend Rosie is still in bed. Morning to Helen, just saying hi there. Max and Cody, morning to Max and Cody. Evie May, who was the first to upload her certificate last week, Evie May, so well done to you, absolutely fantastic. Our Lady Queen and Martyrs of at St Joseph's in Ushamoor, hi to you guys there. Hi to St Pius in the Grove, hi to Brabbings over in Chipping and Dipton Collierly. Well done to you guys and thank you all for watching, fantastic. And we're going to focus today on clauses. Now, last week we talked about compound sentences. It's probably a good idea to start to look at how clauses are formed. Clauses are an element of a sentence. Now, a clause, quite simply, is a group of words that contains a verb or has a verb as its head or the most important part. So a group of words that contains a verb will be a clause. Now, the two of the most important clause types are what we refer to as main clauses and subordinate clauses. You will hear people talk about clauses such as relative clauses, embedded clauses. We're not focusing on that today. Slightly more advanced stuff that we may go over in future shows. But we're just focusing on these two main clause types. Main clauses and subordinate clauses. Any of those other clause types that you hear about, relative, embedded, that kind of thing, they will fit into one of these other categories, fit into the subordinate clause category. Now, a main clause, what's the difference between those two? Well, a main clause can make sense on its own. And it will make sense on its own because it will have its own subject and its own verb, and it will always express a complete thought. That's a main clause. It's basically grammatically identical to a simple sentence which we looked at 2 weeks ago. And it's basically that it's grammatically identical, but it doesn't always require a full stop or a capital letter, depending on where it sits in the sentence. So let's look at an example. We went for a game of tennis. Now, this is basically a simple sentence. We've got the capital letter, full stop, subject and verb. A main clause can, however, sit elsewhere in a sentence, which means it won't necessarily require that capital letter or full stop. Now, a subordinate clause doesn't make sense on its own. Doesn't make sense on its own. It always needs more information. Now, we've got an example here. After we had lunch. That's a subordinate clause. I'm going to demonstrate to you why this doesn't make sense, or how this doesn't make sense, rather. Because if I walked up to you like this and said, after we had lunch, you'd think I'm going crazy. It doesn't make sense on its own. It needs to be attached to another main clause in order for that to make sense. So a subordinate clause will usually start with a subordinating conjunction. Not always, might start with a few other things, possibly, but that's what we're going to focus on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your turn! So let's see how many clever people we've got in the audience who can identify whether the following is a main clause that makes complete sense on its own, or if it's a subordinate clause that requires more information. Okay, folks, is the following a main or a subordinate clause? Because I collect jam jars. Ladies and gentlemen, your time starts now! Let's see who's got the right answer. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. Morning from Oliver in Horwich. Let's see where we're going. Got lots of highs. No right answer yet. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Let's scroll down. Subordinate clause. Melanie Moore says subordinate clause. Tilly Ayre says subordinate clause. Grant Hopkins says subordinate clause. That means Caris has got it right. I knew they'd be there eventually. Well done, Caris. Fantastic. Lots of people getting those right answers coming in now. But what is the right answer? You all know this. You've all guessed it right. I've seen so far. It's a subordinate clause because it starts with a subordinated conjunction and it doesn't make sense on its own. Well done! Fantastic. Absolutely superb. There we go. Emma's got it right. Helen's got it right. Fantastic. There we go. Ronnie's got it right. Fantastic. Lots of people getting that right. It's a subordinate clause. It doesn't make sense on its own. It needs to be attached to a main clause in order to make sense. So there we go, folks. That's what we need to talk about with clauses. Remember, subordinate clauses can be placed at different points in a sentence, as can main clauses. So there we go. And that's how we get variations in sentence structure. That's how you can make your writing more exciting. And speaking of more exciting, get ready. Sentences and see which is commonly known. Take the subject of the clause, it becomes subordinate. It's dependent on the main clause, which you keep reading straight. The key is together, make the sentence complex. This will give a right some muscle to flex. There we go, flex those muscles. We're starting the clauses. We're starting the clauses. That's right, fantastic. Oh, I can't see these lessons. Right, here we go.
Well, here we are, observing clauses and phrases. The pleasant noises you can hear now, a group of phrases. There they go. Ooh, you're lucky today. We can see just over in the distance a subordinate clause. Sometimes referred to as a dependent clause, the subordinate clause contains a subject and a verb, but never expresses a complete thought or statement. We tend not to see a subordinate clause on its own, as they just don't make sense without a main clause. Ooh, the main clause is nearby. It's grammatically similar to a simple sentence, but doesn't necessarily need a capital letter or a full stop. I said a main clause, not a main and clause.
Well, there we go, folks. But we're not over quite yet, because we need to find out what we've learned from today. And to do that, you need to go to www.thepunctuationsshow.com/quiz. And once you get there, take the quiz. Let's see who can be the first this week to upload their certificate. If they get everything right, you download your certificate, post it in the comments, show everyone how clever you are. Once you've done that, don't forget, do the Tik Tok challenge. Okay, search Podcast Revision, the Clauses song on the TikTok, and you can do your TikTok challenge. Let's see what you've got. See if your moves are as cool as mine. Or, as well as that, don't forget, You get your free comic if you go to thepunctuationshow.com/comic. The link is in the title to this video. You can go over to the website. This is exclusive to Facebook Live. No one else gets these comics because no one else gets this link. Okay, so that's exclusive to you. You can download that comic there. And finally, please like and share the video if you've enjoyed it. If you've got something from it, please let people know that the Punctuation Show is going on. We are going to be carrying on as long as the schools are shut. Please let people get the word out. And that's all from me, and I'll see you guys hopefully next week. Thank you.